Hello, welcome to episode 28 of the Star Sequence Podcast. Hooray! We're live!
Da-da-da.
We're live! Crap. No, okay, there we go.
You alright, got it? Got it?
Yep, got it.
Our resident naked ape.
Go get fucked, you degenerate.
There we go. That sums it up right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
that
how
is
is
your
everyone's week
standard
today?
Templar gamer line right there. You can't get more Templar gamer than that.
Yep. Surprisingly, it hasn't been completely spent playing Warframe. This time, my girlfriend has dragged me into playing Terraria, and I'm actually having a lot of fun in it because of all the exploration we can do.
Finally, something else that you play besides Warframe. And Bubsy.
I know.
And Bubsy.
Fuck Bubsy.
I
No,
haven't
you
played
can't.
Terraria in years. Is it still any good, or has it gone to shit?
From what I've played, it's actually kind of good. There's quite a lot to it. There's lots of stuff to explore. There's lots of stuff to collect, and there's lots of stuff to learn about.
Yeah, sounds about the same game I played back in the day.
Yeah, they added a lot of stuff to kill now, and way more items and whatnot to build. There's minecarts you can ride around in, you can place down traps to move about, there's a teleportation that you can create called the cell phone that also adds a bunch of other little random stuff, such as how far are you from below ground, yada yada, and a bunch of other things. Oh, and the time of day.
I honestly haven't played Terraria since I got Starbound, and I'm waiting for 1.0 at the moment, so...
Yeah.
I
so
am
far,
too.
So far, I've only had two gripping issues with this game, and the first one is that it could be pretty overwhelming to someone who has never played Terraria before, and the second problem is that for some reason it hasn't had controller support yet. Although that will be fixed pretty soon.
Let's see here. For Starbound, myself, I own it, but I've been waiting to play with someone else because I know nothing about it, and it really, the guide in it doesn't make sense to me. It's very lackluster.
Yeah, me and Coda have been intending to play, but because I can't host a server and neither can he. Yeah.
Starbound is pretty much the same as Terraria. They're very, very, very... I mean, they're made by the same people. So...
Yeah, but I tend to prefer Starbound.
No,
That's
I do
just me,
too.
though.
Yeah, I like it better.
Current year, waiting for Starbound 1.1. Son, you're more likely to see the pyramids take off as spaceships than that happening.
Well, but you know, unlike other early access stuff, Starbound's actually been pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Ooh, well, I spent a chunk of this weekend doing taxes, so that just about sums it up.
What?
The Fed
what
is
about
on
the
to
salt
the
mine
alt
you
furry.
generated?
Oh, I did accidentally generate an entire salt mine. An entire salt mine.
Oh my
Salt
god.
mine, huh?
Did you at least get the +2 gold for the tile for it?
It was actually quite bizarre. I released a video that kind of blew up more than my videos usually do, and it upset a lot of people, which is great. I couldn't be happier. It upset all the right people, I guess I should say. So yeah, that was
Right, people.
that was the other exhausting thing that happened this week. So yeah, that's why I've been completely out of it, is because I'm not used to that type of thing happening, and it kind of is exhausting. And then I did my taxes, and that's also exhausting.
Yeah, for those who are not in the know, right, there are certain players in a certain sort of hashtag activism movement that are pushing a very certain narrative to basically suit the leaders of that sort of movement, And what QQ did is released a video that pretty much shatters that narrative to its foundation, to the point that it cannot be legitimately defended against anymore. So yes, that's why there's a lot of salt being generated, because he pretty much called out all the right people and pretty much destroyed a lot of the stuff that people have been saying for their own ends.
Yeah, I
Sort of
clarified the
lead.
truth on a bunch of things, and well, a lot of folks were counting on that never happening. So, you know what
For their
happens when
own
you do
ends.
that?
Tell me, do you bleed?
No, of course not.
God damn it.
Oh
Don't
my
bleed.
god.
Ah,
We don't bleed, we're furries, we come.
Wow.
Ew.
wow, you went there. You went there.
Thanks for that image.
Okay, Templar. Since you're the new person, and you really want attention, how's your week been then?
My week is fine. Just mainly removing Kebab and making Zoroastrianism great again in Crusader Kings 2.
Ooh.
Well, that's it then? Nothing else? Nothing else going on in life?
Making some video games, working on a translation project for Fire Emblem Fates Awakening. Or not
my
Awakening,
God.
fuck,
Fire
which
Emblem
one?
Fates. It's
Thank
just
you.
Fate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
working on that as kind of a proofreader and such. So yeah, obligatory shilling of that.
So basically, you're actually doing something meaningful, unlike Torrential Sprinkler.
Pretty much.
Oh, by the way, did you get to kill Sargon of Akkad in Crusader Kings 2?
Wow.
Unfortunately, no you don't, because he's long dead. Although, I'm pretty sure there are mods to, like, create the map in the ancient world. I know there's a mod that allows you to play from near the peak of the Roman Empire to its ultimate fall.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
I mean, yeah, you even get to play as Muhammad in that mod, so naturally, it's fun.
Wait, if you get to play as Muhammad, then what about Umayyad?
Umayyad Akbar?
Umayyad, you know, the Islam Caliphate, the point where Islam split between Sunni and Shia.
Yeah,
boy.
that's in the core game, but what I was describing was a mod that, like, moves the beginning timeline back to, like, the 2nd century AD.
Ah, I see. I thought Muhammad was a lot later than 2nd century AD.
Yeah, he's available in, like, the 5th or 6th century start date in that mod. I don't remember which. I really don't fiddle around with the mods for that game because ever since the Sons of Abraham DLC came out, the game's just gotten so slow with all the extra bloat they piled on that it's very difficult to play any later than, like, a century and a half into the game.
Oh boy, so it's becoming like Dwarf Fortress in a way.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, isn't Dwarf Fortress good, though?
With incest.
Oh?
Moving on.
Okay, Mishka, how's your week been then?
Meh. Alright. Not much better than last week, but hey, I'm hanging in there.
Any
Picked up
exciting games you
Battlefield
want to talk
again.
about?
Yeah, I picked up Battlefield 4 again. Don't recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna recommend anything EA makes these days because usually it's just rehashed and recycled garbage, like, you know, Star Wars Battlefront, which is basically just Battlefield with a Star Wars skin slapped on top of it.
It's basically Battlefield with laser rifles.
Man, I miss the old Battlefront. I used to play the heck out of Battlefront 2.
I actually
Oh.
have played it before, but it was someone else's copy, and I didn't play very
Oh, hey.
much. It was fun,
I
though.
own Battlefront 2 on Steam.
Yeah,
I have it
Something
on.
that I
I
found
have
out is
Battlefront
that-
3.
you know how they have the space battles? If you
Oh,
have
yes.
if you have one other person who has a micro headset or is in voice chat in some form, and the two of you coordinate your space battles that way, you will just own. Like it is an amazing advantage. If you coordinate like that, it's like amazing. It really makes a big difference.
You want to know what the best version of Battlefront 2 is?
What?
The Xbox version. You know why? Because you
Why?
have Galactic Conquest mode in that one, where you can actually play that multiplayer with 4 others.
Wait a
Yeah,
second.
I used
They
to-
have
I
that
used
on
to do that.
Xbox? They have that on Xbox and not PC?
Yeah, for whatever reason, the PC version does not have multiplayer Galactic Conquest mode.
I remember playing that mode, but there's one map that was extremely unbalanced. I forget which map it was. There was just this one map that was super unbalanced, and I would always we had one team that would always get stuck on that.
I mean, it seems like in every game there's at least one map that is extremely unbalanced in favor of one side or the other.
You know what my response to those kinds of maps are? Get good, scrub.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Okay, I
Yeah.
have no idea how this character works. I've never played her before in Freedom Planet.
Oh,
Which
you're playing
character?
Freedom Planet this week?
Yep.
Oh, who you playing?
1 second.
Was there a new character or something?
He's playing Milla. I unfortunately.
yeah.
Oh,
never-
Milla's fun.
I
Levi.
unfortunately, I missed Battlefront somehow. I just never picked it up. It's another one of those that I missed. I want to play it, but sounds good. My older brother, he talks about it all the time. He loved it.
It's pretty good.
He got the new one, and all he did is complain about it. I warned him before he even got it.
The old one's pretty good. I like it. I've played it before.
And those sort of games just invoke the question. Remember when Star Wars games used to be good?
Yeah, oddly enough, that coincides with before they got acquired by EA.
I was gonna say, yeah, EA bought them. That's what happened.
Yeah, and now we got watered down garbage like The Force Unleashed.
Yeah, but the Force Unleashed
The Force
kinda
Unleashed.
wasn't EA's fault. That was like fucking LucasArts all on their own fucking up.
Yeah, it's still a terrible game though.
It was like this. It was a great idea. It was like, we have all these physics engines now. Why don't we let people feel like what it's like to use the Force? And then they never really got past that concept, and it was just that over and over and over again.
I don't know. I like The Force Unleashed. I didn't have a problem
Okay,
with it.
Yeah.
It's still nearly not as good. It's still a very, very far cry from stuff like Dark Forces and Jedi Knight.
I don't.
Yeah,
It wasn't a great game, but it stood on its own, basically.
it wasn't a bad game. It just didn't really go anywhere.
Honestly, now that we got all this new shit, I'm just like, can we like have a new Rogue Squadron game? Please? Maybe this time I get to fly a B-Wing?
Well,
Oh.
we're going to get that to the movie, but unfortunately EA has control of it, so it's going to be shit.
You know what I would like to see? A straight up remake of Dark Forces on a more modern engine.
That'd be cool. I'd be all for that.
Like you don't really have to remake the entire game. Just import the geometry, add a few more details here and there, add make some weapon models, some enemy models, some fancy anti-flashy effects for the modern engine, and just ship it out. That's all you really need to do.
Yeah, you're just asking for a true HD remake, right? Instead of what we usually get, which is just the old game sold as a new game.
With a little bit of
Rapper.
polish.
Yeah, just go back and polish the game up, add new textures and such to it.
In other
There's a lot
words,
of games that
bullshit.
can do for that.
Yeah, but see, nowadays, if they remake it, it's gonna be a case of goodbye Kyle Katarn, hello female lead from Rogue One, because you need to hit that quota, boys.
Oh, them quotas.
Ah, boy.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
except
to
that,
speed
I'm
this
gonna still
along,
call this out.
Azure, how's your week? In case if you didn't do that yet.
It's been alright. I've been playing a lot of Blade and Soul, and I tried the new survival mode on Fallout 4. And my first thought was, I'll do melee and run into a group of raiders. That didn't turn out too good for me.
And as for my week, let's see here. Pretty much, the only thing of significance I can say is I played Super Dungeon Crawl. Not Super Dungeon Crawl, rather Dungeon Crawl Classic.
What
Tabletop.
the fuck is that?
What?
I was playing a moment of Terraria while we were going through the beginning here, and I'm being chased by something called Wall of Flesh.
Oh,
You triggered
fucked
the
up.
end boss, and I hope you prepared your
The end
anus.
boss for normal mode until
Uh-huh.
Let me
Yeah,
guess, you broke an item that you shouldn't have early on, and you're gonna get fucked.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, here's the
You're gonna
thing.
get fucked either way.
When you throw the voodoo doll into the lava, you spawn the wall of flesh. The wall of flesh
What
is the
voodoo
end
doll?
mode. Yeah, there's an item called a voodoo doll that is a voodoo doll of the helper that you get at the start of the game. You remember the helper, the guy that like is your tutorial, whatever.
Vaguely?
The very first NPC you ever see in the game.
Oh, that guy. I've barely played with him. I mean, I literally just... Oh, wait, it's dead. Never mind. That wasn't too bad.
You killed the wall of flesh?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I gave you a bunch of super items and got you stuff. Free to mess around with the game.
Yeah.
I remember the Wall of Flesh back when I first played that game. It kicked my butt so hard.
Okay, sorry about that. It's all over now.
So yeah, I played a new tabletop of a old game called Dungeon Crawl Classic, and it is a brutal tabletop. You're guaranteed... Okay, if you really want to play the tabletop, you should at least make about 4 to 5 characters as backup for you to continue playing. It's one of those type of old school tabletop games.
So basically, if you step in the wrong direction, you die. If you make the wrong move, you die. If you don't roll a natural 20, you die. You die.
Yes, actually not the actual 20 bit, but yeah, you die. If you do not score at least a 5 for most checks, you are guaranteed to lose your character.
Well, that sounds so fun.
In short,
Why haven't
get
we played
good,
that?
scrub, and
Oh,
learn
no.
how to play.
There is no get good, it's all luck.
Yeah, it's dice rolls.
Get good at RNG, you faggot.
Get good
like
at...
We got fucking. It's the thing that drives new XCOM. You can figure it out.
Oh my god.
You just need to reload the universe in which you exist.
You just have to
The
believe
dice
in the
rolls
heart of
come
the
out better.
cards. That's all. That's what drives everything.
Kind of reminds me
You have to constantly pray to RNGesus.
Oh,
picked up-
Jesus.
the original Baldur's Gate not long ago, and I hadn't played it in years.
Oh
that game was
god,
that
you know,
way.
I actually wanted to bring up a topic involving the enhanced edition of Baldur's Gate, but nah.
Yeah, let's get through our lineup first, and then maybe we can talk about Baldur's Gate afterwards.
Yeah, maybe.
Alrighty then. Let me just pause real quick.
Alright, so the first article we're going to be talking about is, Stardew Valley, which is a
Okay, I got it.
Harvest Moon clone on the PC.
Okay,
Which
ready?
I am actually playing right now.
Is that a yes?
Yes, it's me.
So what do you do when you love Harvest Moon but can't find a good equivalent on the PC? You make one, and you do it good. Stardew Valley is is the work of developer Concerned Ape, which aims to not only call back to our memories of Harvest Moon, but add elements of adventuring, mining, and exploration into the mix, basically Minecraft. The result is a game that is solid on all fronts, showing great love to the franchise that it pays a lot of tribute to.
That's pretty much it. I'm playing it right now, and I'm having a great time.
You know, what's everyone's impressions of Stardew Valley anyway?
I like it. I just think everyone I know who plays it gets too competitive with the damn thing.
Wait,
Yeah.
competitive?
People in the TeamSpeak have been kind of competitive.
Profitable farm, man. He's growing that there wild honey. I'm gonna beat him by harvesting endless amounts of corn.
Okay, so I'm gonna admit it. I've never played Harvest Moon.
Get out.
Something about running a farm was just never appealed to me.
Oh, trust me, it shouldn't. It should not appeal to you.
Nope.
But it does.
That said, a lot of people like the game, so it's probably good.
It is good. I like it. I like playing it. It's just, like I said, people I know are too competitive about it, and it just kind of puts you off of the whole damn thing.
I don't know, like, how does being competitive work in Stardew Valley? I mean, it's not like you can connect to another player and be competitive about it.
It's more of the talking about it with other people kind of meant the way it meant.
You underestimate our ability to find a way to trash talk.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't
the
know.
reason we're talking about this is that Niche Gamers, what's-his-face, did a review of Stardew Valley, and so we thought we would
And
give
so
our
do
own
many other
impressions.
sites by now.
Yes, what's his name? Brandon Orselli, in an article on here that is actually more than 5 words.
Amazing.
No, say it ain't so.
I like how he puts under the bad, default portraits show too little of the characters. He wants to see them tits, man. He wants to see that chest. Yeah. He wants to see more than her face and her shoulders.
So, I remember Harvest Moon 64 as the Harvest Moon that I played, and so that's my point of comparison when it comes to Stardew Valley. And I have to say that I think that it does pretty much everything better. I can't think of, there's very little that I would rather, that I can say, oh, well, I remember Harvest Moon 64 did this better. No, it's not like that. Everything that I can recall about Harvest Moon 64 is eclipsed by this. So I think that's good. When the genre that you're entering into, the cornerstone of that genre is something that you're exceeding. I mean, that's exactly what you want, really?
You know, it's also like Mishka, I've never played a single Harvest Moon game, never touched the entire series, or the genre, and I've
Wow,
actually
way
really
to
loved
call me out there.
Hey, I was just making a comparison between me and you, right there, not a call out. I never touched the genre, and actually I've enjoyed Stardew Valley, and I'm currently on my 2nd year. I haven't finished my farm. I'm almost done with the community center, and I got my character married already.
Alrighty then. I have
Oh,
not made,
nice.
but I know who I'm going for.
I am completely antisocial in this game. I have not made friends with a single person. I
I'm
barely
playing
talk
it
to
slowly.
anyone.
I'm still in the first season, and I play it a little bit at a time.
My character is currently married to Penny, the school teacher.
I'm going for Abigail.
You know, it kind
Just like you and Lunatic.
You know, it kind of says
Just
a
two?
lot when this game
So was Lunatic.
that it can draw in
Yeah.
people who have never touched the genre before into playing a game that is like a Harvest Moon, but even better for long periods of time. And it kind of is a testament to the quality of work that Concerned Ape has put into this game.
What I like about it is the fact that it's a modern game made for PC, like the type it is. It wasn't in early access. It didn't go to early access for 5 years.
Yeah.
Amen.
Something I just also remembered, wasn't this also a Kickstarter game?
Was it?
I think,
I think it was.
Never mind then.
Sure, if it's Kickstarter or Indiegogo, but yeah, I think.
Forget it.
Q2, was it a Kickstarter game?
Forget I
I
said
remember.
anything. Fuck that.
Um,
Fuck it up! Fuck it!
My only question is, can I like kill everybody in the town?
No.
Slowly but
Nope.
surely? I can't
Only if-
poison them?
Only a faggot like you would think alive.
Well, see,
That just gives
he,
us any
he
fun
wants
to
to
me.
serve the God Emperor of Man, and that mandates removal of the Xenos living in that town.
Exactly.
Xenos.
I'm pretty sure someone will eventually make a mod for that.
Oh,
They've already
had a
made
nude
sets
one.
mods and nude mods for it.
Oh my god, there's sex mods too. I can't.
There's
can't
even a
believe what I'm
furry
hearing.
mod for the main characters and the person you're destined to marry.
Oh fuck.
wait,
What?
really?
Yeah,
Already?
That does not surprise me whatsoever.
I have the pics. It
Pics are-
exists.
Oh my god.
you have them for your own viewing pleasure, don't you, Templar?
Maybe...
No, I got them because they're funny.
Your own viewing pleasure, just admit it now.
I ain't
I'm
admitting
looking at 'em right
shit.
now.
That's the honest truth there, faggot.
Okay. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, and I'm actually looking forward to either more stuff from him or even, I don't know, an expansion that's not DLC. Expansion pack.
Well, I'm also hoping he didn't get screwed over too hard by his publisher.
Fish. Or
Yes.
as they're also called, Bucklefish.
Yes.
Or as I like to call them, an example of why certain people need to be jettisoned into space.
You almost slipped.
Besides the fact
But
that
yeah.
it's funny to watch.
I really hope that he didn't get screwed over too hard because this is obviously a labor of love. So,
knock on wood.
Alrighty then.
For those who
Should we,
probably
get
don't
this?
really know of what we're talking about, Chucklefish is known for screwing over the people that they publish games for, like Risk of Rain.
Oh boy, yeah, I remember when Risk of Rain got fucked over really, really hard by Chucklefuck.
You stupid chucklefuck! You better get down and give me 50 right now before
I
I
actually
rip your
feel
heart.
actually feel really, really bad for the developers of Risk of Rain because they've actually made a really cool game that you can play in like 30 to 40 minutes at a time, and it actually has a surprising amount of lore in such a short game. Anyway, moving on to the next topic.
Alright,
Yep, yep.
opening up.
Minecart! I didn't realize there was a minecart
What?
in this game now.
Oh. Wait, what game?
Freedom Planet.
Okay. Running out of color and gemstone names for their Pokemon franchise, Nintendo decided to name their newest installment after celestial objects. The game will be released later this year for the 3DS, along with re-releases of the first generation of Pokemon games, with an additional support for Pokebank, a Pokemon storage device used to store and transfer Pokemon between game packs.
That you pay $4.99 a month for.
Yeah, and if you stop paying, I'm guessing your Pokemon are lost forever.
No, you just don't have access to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably put them on hold.
That
So it's
figures.
basically a prison with a $4.99 a month bail.
On top of that, it's also the only way you can transfer your Pokemon on the newer
From-
system for the old games, such as original Red and Blue.
The farthest back you can go, I think, is Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Without,
That's good.
Because
Yeah.
you can send them to Black and White with an old DS, and then transfer them from Black and White to Pokemon Bank to XY, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
actually, with the bank, you can do the originals as long as you bought them on the eShop and whatnot.
No,
Oh,
the actual
and
original with the remakes,
Oh.
right?
I
Yeah,
also
the
forgot to
actual
mention,
original.
right?
Oh, okay.
I also forgot to mention in the writing of this lineup is that the games that were announced is called Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon.
If anyone doesn't know the names of the new Pokemon games by now, I don't think we're gonna be able
I
to
don't
help
think
them,
they care.
or even help them really.
Good thing that I fucking saved my friggin' original Game Boy Color and its transfer cable. So yeah, I don't have to put up with that shit. So fuck you.
Watch out! Watch out! The original Pokemon games for the original Game Boy use battery-backed saves, and those batteries are rated for 20 years.
Good thing mine still got about 10 years, and I can always replace the batteries easily enough.
Yeah, well, as long as you don't mind losing what's
User
on
in
it.
your
Yeah,
channel
if you
timed
you
out.
can replace the battery. It is soldered in, so you will have to desolder it yourself and solder the new one in.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and it becomes
Yeah,
really down to
naming
it.
after celestial objects because colors wasn't sufficient. Yeah, all I can
Well-
think of is, are we gonna have anything else beyond 100 new abominations that are based on food items now?
I just remember there's this Flash cartoon on Newgrounds, and one of the things that they said was it showed two Pokemon trainers, and one of them's going, "All right, we caught time and space, we've caught every human emotion, we've caught every natural element and nature itself. What do we go for next?" And then the other trainer says, "There's only one place to go. Go for God." And then the first trainer says, "Nope, we caught that too." So where do they go next?
Space.
Alien planets and then capture their gods.
And there's always the ever famous reboot.
Yep.
Well, there is also
Reboot?
the possibility of other gods, not just the god of Pokemon. You know, like
Yeah.
let's do Hindu-inspired Pokemon gods.
Don't even get me started on Pokemon gods.
A Pokemon Yokai
Well, that
Watch
has already been
crossover?
done. Guess what? That has already been done. Look up Final Fantasy VI Espers.
I'd rather not.
Now,
That was
I
very
said
cool.
Pokemon, not Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy doesn't count in this.
I know, but here's the thing though, if a Pokemon, right, is going to come up with designs of Hindu gods, right, it will most likely resemble the Espers of Final Fantasy VI, like say Ramu, Shiva, Maduin, and I forgot the other one, Leviathan.
But don't
Ifrit
a lot
as
of the
well.
summons take from a lot of different pantheons, though? It's not just Hindu.
Well, in Final Fantasy VI, a lot of the Espers are based on Hindu mythology.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they kind of borrow from pretty much everything, including some Christian bits, which is an example from Crusaders Esper in Sits, which is a eternal battle between a god, an angel, and a demon.
Imagine if Final Fantasy comes up with an Esper that is basically Jesus. If a player is killed, they will revive after 3 turns.
That wouldn't be controversial at all.
I approve.
Well, doesn't Phoenix kind of bring you all back to life? That's kind of that.
Yeah, I come to think of it, the Jewish and Christian pantheon kind of sucks.
Only because you're not using the relevant and fun bits. I mean, good God, go read Elijah's someday.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
What, you don't want to see an old man challenging the fucking Bala faith or some shit, and basically causing lightning bolts to come down from the sky and roast people?
That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
And when he fucking gets dragged into heaven, his disciple takes his tattered clothes, slams them into a nearby river, and sinks into the Jordan River and something else. and shit like that. It's like a fucking metal album.
So you're saying he's so badass that his clothes alone could split rivers?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Then.
Did we move on?
Yeah.
Oh god, let's move on to the next one. Oh god, this is going to be pretty...
Okay. Random Gamer says, "This game fucking sucks, man. The weapons are all useless, and the only good weapon is the Rooster Sword, aka the God Blade. Fucking devs can't balance a game right." And suddenly a heroic theme plays, and a man wearing sunglasses and spandex crashes through the wall. Oh my god, is that Super Mod Guy? That's right, Jimmy Billy Guy. It's our Super Mod Guy here to save your gaming experience. I heard you're not enjoying The Witcher 2, so I came to bring you some marijuana so you won't even give a fuck anymore.
What the fuck did you...
Mishka, you're not even done yet, though.
Oh my god.
So it's
And then Bill Clinton used what was left of the Watergate scandal to mod the gamer the voice gaming experience. Damn it.
Wow, thanks Super Mod Guy. Now I can fart at the enemies to stun them, then beat them up with my cock.
Thanks,
Do I
Nixon.
even...
okay,
I
as
don't
a,
even want to know what this is.
This is gaming news, man.
This is how
So
we
can
do it.
anyone tell me what the fuck this mod is about?
The
It is-
Witcher.
it's a combat.
Okay, bullshit aside, someone made a mod for The Witcher 2 that rebalanced the combat and added new abilities. Actually made the combat more balanced, which I haven't played The Witcher 2 yet, so I don't know if it was unbalanced to begin with.
It had its ups and downs. There were things I didn't like about it, but the thing is, this happens for every game ever. I mean, well, every game that has mods. Like, there's a Skyrim one called Sky RE, and I think there's a different one. There's like two of them, but I use Sky RE because I really like it. I don't play vanilla Skyrim. I always play with RE.
Hey, I'll tell you what mods I play with. Give me a second to open Mod Manager. Oh, I'll tell you all the shit I play with.
Does it include new mods?
Yes. Faggot, you think I am play without nude mods? Let's see, the Serenian race, basically Crystal. Let's see, Kill the Generals. I don't know what that one is, it's just an abbreviation. Extra Khajiit hair, that was a cool mod, that one actually works. Realistic Schema, the Scar Fortress. Assassin's Creed armor, the Blacksmith Storage, that was a fun one. It puts a chest in every blacksmith that contains 1,000 of every crafting item. Let's see, the Dragon Carved armor, Shinoa armor, Schwertlight set, which is basically Valkyrie armor, the N7 armor, N7 Metroid armor, which is actually pretty cool. Yes, I have a crystal mod for
User
Skyrim.
entered your channel.
My Skyrim is mostly survival mods, things
Coda can confirm this. He's seen it.
Yeah.
you know, and crafting mods. I use Sky RE. I have like 200 some mods in my Skyrim. My Skyrim barely tolerates it.
I don't really care to augment the experience with difficulty mods. I prefer visual mods.
Well, combat mods aren't combat mods aren't always.
You said
for
mad.
Yeah, I did. They're not always for difficulty. With like Sky RE.
Well, I know what you mean, but I'm just saying that's just not really what I go for. It's all.
With Sky RE, it removes the tankiness of the enemies, so that you can die really fast, but so can they.
Oh, cool. So you're not gonna walk up to a mage, and then they're just gonna be like, "Nope, you can't hurt me. You can't hurt me. You can't hurt me."
Well, they might.
Ich lebe.
It also improves the AI, so like mages will use frost on you and run away.
Nice.
Remember the days when a Bethesda game wasn't just a playground for mods?
Nope.
Not really.
Do you remember when a
no.
Bethesda game could be played without mods? Me neither.
I know
point.
it can, but why would you?
I mean, that's the whole point of it. If they made a game that was worth a shit, people wouldn't have to mod it, and it wouldn't have started this shit. Mostly, why their games are so mod is because someone comes in, hey, maybe I can fix this. They fix it, and then people are like, well, what else can we change?
Well,
And
actually,
this
I
paved the
can
way
think of
for
one
nude
game.
mods, sex mods.
Actually, I can think of one game that Bethesda has made that doesn't need any mods to be played well. It's called Wolfenstein: A New Order.
Actually,
that
I
was
can.
amazing.
I like playing Skyrim without mods. I mean, it's actually very playable, surprisingly.
The thing
It
about
is great.
mods is it's not about. It is about fixing things, but even if Skyrim was a perfect game and had no bugs whatsoever, people would still want to mod it because there would always be something new that you can add to it.
Oh, most likely. I don't doubt that.
Oh, I don't question that either. A lot of my favorite games, like Victoria 2, have a whole bunch of mods that adds a whole bunch of shit that I like. That's really not what I'm talking about here, though.
That's
And
not what
on
he's
the
talking
FPS
about.
And on the FPS side, I would consider Series Sam the Second Encounter to be near perfect in terms of arcade-style FPSs. However, I really love the fact that there's a big library of fan-made maps for it that enhances the experience and gives you something new to play with.
And you know the best thing about mods? If you don't like that mod, just don't use it.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Okay then, so
Moving on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
Sure. Lila, that's a pretty
Hey dudes, you ready to get radical?
This is my
You want to relive the 90s the way it was meant to be relived? Do you want to inhale? Do you want an actual good version of the Virtual Boy, but not in black and red? Do you want to destroy the demons of hell on Mars and relive the glory of 90s FPS shooters? Then it's time to get high and then play the Oculus Rift version of Doom.
Of course, this is on there. So we tend to coordinate these podcasts and also just generally hang out in a TeamSpeak server called Downton Dune Burritos, which I am involved in the operation of, full disclosure.
Which, okay, oh my.
Anyway, in that place, there's a whole bunch of Doom fans. There's a bunch of them. They're everywhere. You can't escape the Doom fans.
Duh, because John Carmack made us his bitch.
No, I'm wondering why you brought that up. Thank you. And
Trying to
down
give
to Marina's
context as to why this is exciting for some of us. Not for me though, because as far as I'm concerned, right, Doom is best played on a 4x3 monitor at 640 by 400 resolution.
Yeah, I feel like they would
And
have to
using-
do. Go ahead.
And using Roland's classic sound fonts to play the music.
And
I know
also,
you're very much a
don't
purist.
forget $800 for an Oculus. Do we
Yeah.
really need Doom Oculus here?
Well, not only that, but you also need a rig that can actually run the damn thing.
Wait. Mishka, you're telling me that Oculus is actually gonna be $900?
What? No, I bumped the keyboard when I went to grab my mouse.
Never mind. But yeah, why the heck would I pay $800 for an Oculus just to play Doom with?
Well,
Why would you pay for an Oculus at all?
Well, that's beside
I mean,
the point. I'm just-
if you look at the
Why
original,
would
wasn't
you
the original dev kit like 200?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
originally.
actually isn't a very bad price. Considering
But
all
yeah,
the stuff
I'm
that you
like,
can do with
this
it.
ain't like Subnautica where the VR could be used to enhance
Oh
certain
my
aspects
gosh.
of the visual fidelity.
That would
It
be
ain't
fun.
like Fleet Dangerous or
Sickening.
like Flight Sim where head tracking and all that would make sense. It's fucking Doom.
Oh my
I don't
God.
think I want that shit right up in my eye with all its pixels and so I can see every individual pixel on the Doom Marine's ass.
VR Subnautica would be so vomit-inducing. Oh my god.
You know, Templar, as bad as that sounds, right? Imagine playing Brutal Doom with that.
How about playing Brutal? How about
Play the
playing
Doom with it.
Brutal Doom 64 with that?
Since we're talking about, what do you guys think of the new Doom?
It sucks. I'm not gonna buy it. Fuck
How do you know that
game.
already?
Fuck Bethesda for
There's
the
barely even
microtransaction
footage of
model.
it.
And fuck
Bethesda
Doom.
owns its software. It's gonna be a buggy mess that's slow as shit and doesn't play anything like a Doom game. Do we really need to tack on their DLC practices that have become revealed lately on to say this is not worth buying?
So I
Yeah.
would say that you're 100% correct there, except Bethesda has produced a game that is nothing like that recently, or published a game that is nothing like that recently, and that was Wolfenstein: The New Order, which was just like a classic Wolfenstein ROM updated to the modern times, and didn't have all those problems. So they can do it, I just don't think they will for Doom.
Well, here's the thing though, Wolfenstein: New Order and Wolfenstein: The Old Blood is made by Machine Games, the same guys that made a few very good console and PC shooters called the Darkness series. And
Oh.
they
Hey, I
seem
played
to-
one of those once.
And they seem to have a very good track record of making cultish classics FPS that actually plays well, but isn't exactly too popular. So yeah, I mean, I think I can see why Wolfenstein: The New Order and The Old Blood turned out so well, because it's not made by fucking id Software. And honestly, right, id Software is basically on its way out by now. None of the founders are around there, and it seems that id Software is extremely confused as to what it wants to be.
Not to mention the
Confused.
fact that, as far as I'm concerned, ever since Carmack took over its software, it hasn't been its software. It's been Carmack's little tech demo company since then.
I agree. So yeah,
Moving on.
The new Doom is not gonna play nothing like the old Doom. I mean, come on, are you fucking kidding me? The fact that you have to get items from killing enemies with finishers, that kind of says a lot about how much thought the id Software guys are putting into level design. They're not even considering item placement anymore. They're basically saying, kill enemies, get resources. In the original Doom, right, you have to actually explore the level to find resources if your resources are depleted. And if your resources are depleted, well, tough shit. You gotta get good and try not to fuck up.
Okay, so damn them for trying something new.
Well, we'll have
It's
to
not-
see, honestly.
It's not
thing
even
I'm
is,
about
kind
the
of
value.
hoping it will turn out good. I want it to turn out good.
You never know. It might actually end up being pretty good.
The thing is, with regards to Doom, is they don't make games like that very often anymore, with a large focus on
Exploration.
exploration as part of your resource management.
Well, yes, and to be honest with you, that would be actually very refreshing in a game, but, I mean... I
So,
don't know.
Apparently the environment doesn't allow it now in the game industry.
Let's get
It doesn't.
straight. All they're doing with this is trying to cash in on the Doom brand because they know that they can't get a new FPS in the fucking door with this shit because it's been done to death. So rather than try to, I don't know, come up with something new and fun to play and
And
new
actually
IP
good.
to launch shit and be good, yeah, they just want to tack on the Doom brand. That's all this is. Let's get
well, it could be worse. They could have labeled the game Doom, and it could have been, you know, like,
Sonic
you're
06.
a soldier fighting for the U.S. using all the most modern and futuristic equipment, and just made a COD clone. I think that would have been hilarious.
No,
of
no,
a troll.
no,
If that-
no.
If that happens,
it would
I'm
be
gonna kill
worse.
myself.
No. I know how exactly it could have been worse. You're gonna play as Doom Guy as his adventure to find himself while figuring out if he wants to wear the blue dress or the pink dress.
Oh my god.
And guess what? Himself is basically a giant floating emerald. That is the MacGuffin of the world.
Obviously, the pink dress.
No, it's neither
No,
option. It's the purple dress. Get it right.
Alright, you know what's the saddest part?
No,
is
it's the
that
white and
fact
gold
that-
dress. Get it. Just fuck off. It's the
You know
white
the
gold
saddest
dress.
part? I want to talk about this in terms of game design 101, right, for a second, but the saddest part about it is that they didn't even consider the fact that Doom Guy is in a fucking power suit, right? So basically they didn't go from there and decide, you know, what if we just turn this around on its head and make Doom a game about, you know, parkour and flipping around at the speed of, I don't know, Mach 6 and shooting enemies while you're flying around all over the space base. I mean, that would have been a fun game.
Or even give him enhanced strength with the power armor as well.
Gotta go Sonic.
I don't know. I mean, like power armor. Just like consider the fact that power armor is already a sci-fi concept, right? So fuck it. Just make it so that the power armor gives you like inhuman strength to jump. I don't know, 50 to 100 meters at a time at great speeds, and let you latch on walls and stuff.
Well, see, here's the problem with that, Val. That would invoke player freedom to move about the level. And since we're going for the cinematic experience with this, we can't risk the player screwing up all of our very expensively produced money shots. So we gotta, like, keep them on the ground and pointing in a certain direction so they see all the delicious eye candy we've made.
Oh boy. And you know what's the sad part is that this kind of masks a deeper issue with Doom development, is that they got really lazy with the gore system, and so they try to make this like one or two gloriously overproduced finisher sequences and try to have them in their phases over and over to try to impress them. But once you take away that sort of system, right, you realize that the gore is very stock standard and essentially nonchalant. I mean, there's nothing miserable about the gore in the new Doom game. I mean, at least not compared to even Wolfenstein or let's see, The Darkness 2.
Pretty sure Dead Space had better gore shit than this.
Yeah, I know.
Dead Space had some good gore. Yes.
Oh, and let's not even go to the fact that Doom Guy has marine power armor, right? You would also open the possibility of giving him like power armor abilities that feed into power armor's energy level.
So should
you know
we
what
move
I'm
on?
talking about? Like, let's give like Doom Guy's abilities like, I don't know, a grappling hook that lets him swing around.
Again, ruining money shot, ruining our cinematic experience.
We've kind of been on this for a
Okay,
bit.
I think that's enough about Doom.
Yeah, we've been on this for a bit.
Yeah.
I know,
I'm
but
sorry.
DLDR, modern devs don't like gameplay. The end.
I guess it's time to go back to classic Doom and play that for the rest of the time because it's not gonna get better.
People who've played the English translations of games that were originally in Japanese will know that it is extremely rare that the English voice acting would be of any considerable quality, and is not the lack of trying, even though there are plenty of companies who are disgustingly lazy about it.
We're looking at you, Namco Bandai.
There are a lot of inflections and subtleties in the Japanese language that would be astoundingly difficult, if not impossible, to translate to English. As such, the voice acting of the titular character of the upcoming game, Sonic Communication, will have the option for players to select the original Japanese voice acting. No, that's not what the thing said. It says it will have optional English voice acting. It comes in Japanese with an option for English.
Or it's kind of the other way around. Basically the same thing.
Fucking memes. That's all I've got.
Oh yeah, it kind
Leaves
of
and
says
her
something.
waifus.
But that kind of says something when a game that was originally in Japanese and then localized to English, right, will give you the option to switch between Japanese and English voice acting as a sort of a preference thing, because like, I'll be honest with you, a good 90% of the games I played with English voice acting of a Japanese game is pretty terrible. The game Tales of Eternia comes to mind.
Final
Tales of
Fantasy X,
Fantasia, GBA.
Tidus.
Oh my god.
There we go.
That's all I need to say.
Yeah.
So, on this topic, this is how everyone got Dark Souls 3 early. They bought the Japanese version, and it actually had an English subtitles option.
Hey, I wanted to point something out. The forced laughter scene of Tidus in Final Fantasy X is actually very similar in the Japanese version.
Regardless, it's a very bad laugh that just makes it very cringy.
Final Fantasy
I think it's very
X.
similar.
Who cares?
I couldn't even get through that one, so...
And the whole point was him to. The whole point was forced laughter. The whole point. Was
there's
that it was
good
supposed
voice.
to
There's kind of funny, okay, forced laughter, and then there's bad forced laughter.
That's
The
the
forced
point.
laughter sounded forced. Like, forced.
Here's the
forced.
thing, though. The Japanese version, right, did not overdo it. The English version, though, they overdid it. Like, they crossed the line where it becomes
Have you seen
necessary,
the Japanese version?
and then went on for a fucking 800 miles.
Have you seen the Japanese version?
I have seen the clips of it, and I have to tell you, it's not as bad as people say it is.
It's pretty bad.
Of course, it's pretty bad. It's a forced laughter scene, but it's not cringe. It's not very cringe-inducing as compared to the English version.
Or we could, just let it go.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Alternatively, we can
Whisper,
bitch about
whisper.
it so that people stop making it.
I say we go on that topic.
Yeah, there really isn't that much to talk about. I mean, like, there are some games in which Japanese voice acting has been translated successfully into English, but those are very far and few between. And it is extremely deficient, and especially deficient in JRPGs, because there's a lot of inflections and story stuff that you can't really translate into English properly, without it sounding very forced and artificial.
I can say, playing Blade and Soul right now, I really wish there was an option for the Korean voices. The voice acting in that game, the only reason it gets away with it is because it's a kung fu game. So I just kind of take it, it's a bad kung fu movie. So
Is it the voice or is it the grammar?
both, like, they screw a lot of stuff up in that.
Because the voice acting comes down to the voice actor. The grammar is the fault of the translation team. In a lot of places, bad voice acting comes from the voice actor being some C-rank piece of shit they pulled in from the street.
Well,
they
it
could
suffers
cheat.
from-
Hey, buddy, you want to make $5? Do I ever?
Oh man,
There's
this
like
is
one
gonna
or
feed me
two-
for days.
There's one or two like decent, like they can get away with it in that game, but for the majority of that game, they're just really not very good.
Well, that means the localization team is complete shit.
Well, it is, but I didn't expect it to be good.
Yeah, I like Blade and Soul. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, the combat in the game is so much fun.
Yeah, I have it. I don't play it very much. Who was it that I play that with?
I feel
You played it with
think
me,
what would have
and I
been-
think you
what
played
would
it
have
with
happened
Oh,
if
yeah.
Fire Emblem Fates was voice
Was
acted in
you?
English?
Oh, don't even want to think about that. Oh my gosh.
Like, how
How
do you
can
voice
you
act
say?
ellipses?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you voice that?
Or
What?
memes? How do you voice act ellipses and memes?
Oh, voice act your dick.
But yeah, let's just from now on, let's just observe the original voice acting and just translate the text into English. And if that is not possible, just add English subtitles, because honestly, that's
I don't
the
know.
best option for most of
Hyperdimension
these,
Neptunia has good voice acting.
games.
Actually, it does.
Yeah,
It does,
but
really
see, that would require, Mishka, this little thing we like to call effort. And I know this is such a strange concept, but most people don't want to put in effort.
Yeah, it really does come down to that. If they're going to do the translations, then it has to be done right. So there are translations that are decent, but for the most part, you get a pile of shit.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, let's move on.
The gameologist looks down into the pit, throwing a rock down below. Echoes of the rock hitting the bottom can be heard. They scale down the pit and look around, then begin to examine the remains of all of the ancient game consoles and the destroyed ancient games of yesterday. One gameologist found an intact, unnamed fighting game, simply labeled
My massive penis.
No.
Oh my god.
You're
labeled
Bill
Neo
Clinton.
Geo fighting game prototype.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep. So, apparently, it was discovered on the internet that a unfinished fighting game ROM was unearthed that looks kind of promising, and it, from Grimm's perspective, it seemed a little bit like as if it might have been semi-based on Dungeons and Dragons.
A D&D fighting game because characters are broken up into lawful good, neutral good.
Is that your only
chaotic
basis
evil.
for that claim?
That's the only.
There's
basis
also
I think.
some of their costumes of medieval armor and whatnot, but with a more Japanese anime flair still.
I'm thinking that maybe this is the reason why it didn't get released. Like, probably they tried to secure the rights to use D&D intellectual property for this game and they could not. So they had to scrap the game idea early and then recycle some of the assets for another game that they actually made. Because this really does look like a prototype for a game that was already released at the time.
You know, the art style looks a lot super similar to what's it called the arcade D&D game they had. God, what's the name of that? Shadows of Mystara.
And Towers
That
of...
was made by Capcom.
Yeah, that was made
There's
by
also
Capcom.
the...
Not SNK.
There's also another D&D arcade game called Towers of... whatever. I can't remember the last name.
It's for the same
About this game, Lady might be right in that there was a they might have been in conflict with Capcom as far as the licensing goes for a D&D style game. I'm only basing this entirely off of speculation. Another thing is that it was made by Technos. Technos is known for probably most famously, as far as fighting games go, the Double Dragon fighting game.
Oh boy.
Yes. So.
That fighting game.
So. No, not that Double Dragon fighting game. The other Double Dragon fighting game.
You mean the good one?
The good one. Yes. They're known for
Oh.
the good one. The you should look it up. It's a Neo Geo fighting game, a Double Dragon fighting game. The good one. Yeah. So it's very good idea that this might have been a licensed video game of some form.
What?
Yeah, it seems to be the case. Like, that's the only explanation I can think of as why it was scrapped, because it seems to be mostly complete in terms of assets.
Yes.
I'm always amazed when these old things are found.
And each character had 3 moves or settings or something like that. Kind of like the precursor to Mortal Kombat's what is it? What is the formations or something like that, where characters have 3 different move sets. This game had every character had 3 different sort of move sets, and they were based on chaotic, neutral, and lawful.
Oh.
Yep.
So it's basically like stances.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mishka, what did you want,
That is actually
since
an
you said my
interesting
name?
mechanic.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a chance to ask you, how long have we been going?
Over an hour, actually.
Do you think we should go ahead and cut it? After we're done talking about
No.
this?
Still have one more topic to talk about after this.
Alright.
Alright, so yeah, I mean, it really does seem like a game that has a lot of promise, but they had to scrap it due to licensing issues. I mean, it really does
Possibly
look like it has a lot of
licensing issues, yeah.
promise. Yeah, it really like looks like it has a lot of promise behind it, especially with the 3 fan systems, which is going to add a lot of strategic element to each of the combats.
Yes, but again, this is only my interpretation is only speculation, and could be the entirely different, entirely new game or something like that. So yeah, I'm just
yeah, that is
guessing.
also possible. All right, so does anyone else have anything to add to this?
No.
Does anyone else remember Bioforce 8 and the story behind that?
Nope.
No.
Well, you should just look it up sometime. I'm not going to go too far into it. Basically, there was a game that was advertised in magazines a lot called Bioforce 8, but it never ended up coming out. And someone ended up pulling a magnificent forum troll where they fake discovered a cartridge and fake played through it with mocked up screenshots and everything. Anyway, a short time later, after it was discovered that it was a prank, someone actually found Bioforce 8, like the prototype cartridge. And it just this reminds me of that story.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, it's always interesting when gems like that are forgotten from the past are dug up and found. I think that this is worth preserving as a part of a video game culture.
Yep.
Anyways, let's move on to the final topic.
Yeah.
Wait, just a sec.
This is gonna be a big doozy.
Yeah.
It always is.
Alright, just let me... Yeah, stupid. Stop that. Okay. As bad as the situation with Overkill Studios' Payday 2 was for its loyal customers, what with the overgrowth of its oh my fucking god. Of its repertoire. Yes. Of frankly overpriced DLC stacked with a very abhorrent microtransaction loot system that holds content and progression hostage for money, as well as Overkill Studios' sneering disdain for their previously loyal, now disgruntled customers, it is not as bad as the developing situation. Tripwire Interactive, not content with the cult popularity and large fanbase that it had gathered with its Killing Floor and Red Orchestra series, had decided to piss on its loyal fanbase by how they're handling the early access of their latest title, Killing Floor 2. The problems with this game have been numerous, with a lack of update in over 4 months, the addition of microtransactions, the unnecessary waste of resources and development time for a PvP mode that nobody asked for, and the complaints from the development staff that the fanbase are too demanding even though they had promised to finish the game by the end of 2015. The game is nowhere near feature complete as of the time of writing, and the loss of staff that had been going on since the beginning of this early access, the list goes on. This raises a lot of questions regarding the work ethics of Tripwire Interactive, not only due to how they handled the game, but also their past history and track record, as well as their association with the Entertainment Software Association, and thus their tacit approval of the TPP.
That is a lot to swallow, but I have been following the situation that has been developing here for a while, because I've gotten into the early access of this game as soon as it got out, and I have to say, I wasn't impressed. Like, every update they made, it seems to have made the game a lot worse, a lot less playable, and a lot less conducive to cooperative gameplay. It seems that Tripwire Interactive does not know how to make a gameplay that encourage, let me go back. It seems that Tripwire Interactive does not know how to make a cooperative game that is conducive to cooperative gameplay, and essentially it encourages people to basically go fuck you, God mine, and basically, fight for only themselves.
Sounds about right, given their track record.
Yeah, it seems to be my experience that players who tend to go out of their way and run around and break up from the group to kill Zed in Killing Floor 2 are the ones who are most likely to survive. Whereas in Killing Floor 1, right, if you do that, you're gonna expect to get your asshole torn a new one very quickly. So yeah,
well,
there's a lot. Yeah, go on, Peppa.
Nah, go ahead and finish, then I'll start.
Well, I was just gonna say that there has a lot that has been going on wrong ever since the beginning of Killing Floor 1's development, and I think that it is only beginning to show with the early access of Killing Floor 2.
I would disagree, mainly because them fucking around and not actually finishing shit is something Tripwire seems to do a lot. Case in point would be the transition from Red Orchestra 1 to 2. Red Orchestra 2 basically had fuck all to work with, very few tanks, and who the fuck was that? I don't know. But anyway, where they had very few tanks, very few maps, shit wasn't really balanced, and they, like, from what I remember, promised continuing support of Red Orchestra 1, which didn't materialize, but yeah. Basically, with Red Orchestra 2's launch, it was nowhere near the game they promised, and they more or less told people to fuck off, it was working as intended, and that more content will come within 3 months. Fast
So
forward
essentially...
No, that's not even the end of the story. Fast
Oh my
forward
God.
3 years later, new content does finally come, in the price of the expansion pack known as Red Rising Storm, charged for $10, which doesn't even really expand on the base game, just adds a whole new thing with dealing with the fucking campaign in the Pacific, and adding in a new game mode for that from what I remember isn't even included in the base game of fucking Heroes of Stalingrad. So yeah, that in addition to the way they've screwed over the modding community and a whole bunch of other shit, it all on top of their whole don't you dare allow sexist from misogyny the content in our fucking servers. It's like,
Wait a second, they really did that?
yeah,
Yep.
for fucking Killing Floor 2, and I think Red Orchestra, it's a case of you must actively ban misogynies, or we'll take your server offline because we're not fucking around no more.
Oh,
But yeah,
I thought
it's
they
all-
only wanted to ban trolls that are disruptive in the game, not, people who say, oh, feminism is terrible.
Apparently they'll do that to your server. But yeah, it's like on top of all that, it's a case of this recent shit with Killing Floor 2 just ain't a big surprise to me. Oh, and for the cherry on top of the shit cake, members of the Entertainment Software Association, which has thrown in behind the Trans-Pacific Partnership Treaty, so they're also actively trying to destroy the internet, as far as I'm concerned.
Which is
Wow.
funny.
So
Wasn't they before against bills like SOPA and such?
The ESA was fully endorsed that until the shitstorm hit, and they quietly backed away from that shit. Funny how that works.
So you're telling me that as bad as the Left 4 Dead 2 situation is for its fans, when Valve decided to fuck over the people who bought Left 4 Dead 1 and force them to pretty much pay for Left 4 Dead 2 if they want continuing content and updates, it is not as bad as the situation of Tripwire and their Red Orchestra franchises.
Yeah, there's a reason why I don't play Red Orchestra 2 anymore, and that's because I've become so fucking disgusted with the way Tripwire has handled themselves lately.
Oh, and guess what? They did the whole cross-promotional thing with Killing Floor when they released the Rising Storm. Essentially, they released a version of the Tommy gun that is better than most other guns in the game in Killing Floor, and the only way to get that weapon or to buy that weapon from the store is to basically own Rising Storm.
Yep, sounds about right.
So yeah, I think Tripwire Interactive's problem has already started by the time Killing Floor 1 hit the market, but it has only gone to extreme shitstorm proportions when Killing Floor 2 came about, and all the problems started to show up from the beginning.
Yep, and it ain't gonna get any better until people finally just stand up and say, fuck you, we're not buying this shit anymore, go die in a fire.
Well, it's too late for me, so where do I get my refund? Because after hearing all of this, I really want a refund for Killing Floor 2.
I'd try the Steam deal, but knowing Steam, they're likely not gonna give it to you. And knowing
Because it's
Tripwire,
been
they're
over
not gonna
2
honor
weeks,
any
as well
refunds.
as you probably played more than 2 hours, right?
Not even
Oh,
the
yeah,
whole
more than
2
2
hours.
hours.
It's a case of if new shit comes about that breaks it, you can sometimes get a refund because it's a case of, gee, they broke their game. Yeah, okay. But Tripwire is a collection of a bag of dicks. So they're likely not even gonna let you honor. They're not even likely gonna honor any promise of a refund as far as I'm concerned.
And you know why I think that even Overkill is not as bad as Tripwire? Because at least Overkill waited until the game is released in its full form before deciding to fuck over its customers. Tripwire didn't even wait until it's out of early access.
Standard money-grubbing shitheels being standard money-grubbing shitheels.
And you know what's the worst part is? I defended Tripwire Interactive back during the later days of Killing Floor 1 because I thought that, more content requires money, and so they do need money to keep funding their development of Killing Floor 1 and to also help the modding team, which is, the guys that made the extra weapon packs for Killing Floor 1, right? They were originally a modding group, so I was like, I should support the modders here, so here's my money. Now I regret that.
Yep. And according to posts I've seen around, they really don't like their fucking modding community either, even though that community is likely the only reason anyone still plays their games.
I mean, yeah. I mean, are you fucking serious? Like, the only reason why there are servers that are populated in Killing Floor is because they do either one or two things of the following. One, the servers play only custom maps that are made by the community because they are fucking bored to death playing, through West London every fucking time. And secondly, the servers load up, unique mods for their servers that makes things fresh for everyone. So like there's a server that I used to play on, right? That has like 35 waves of monsters, and they all come from different game franchises like Dead Space, Doom, and all that shit, right? And it's actually a lot more interesting and fun because there's like a lot more weapons to deal with, there's a lot more different enemies to deal with, and a lot more maps to deal with on a much more longer game. So yeah, if Tripwire looks down on this modding community, then honestly they can go fuck themselves.
And just remember, if the game is not working, it's your fault, not ours, as far as Tripwire is concerned.
Apparently they still haven't fixed that glitch that Killing Floor 2 had when it starts up and you only get a black screen.
The black screen of death for games.
Yep. I mean, that has been a problem that has been plaguing a lot of users for many, many months. Like, even since the beginning of this early access, and they have done nothing to fix that. So yeah, guys, if you have bought Killing Floor 2 and you're hoping for a fully fleshed out game that is as good as the first one, don't waste your time and money. Get a refund, or better yet, tell your friends not to buy it, because honestly, it's not worth it.
What a shame. I really liked Killing Floor as well, and not having Killing Floor 2 being that broken community management-wise, technology-wise, business model-wise, in every way possible, basically. That's really a shame.
Oh, and I had one more final point to bring up against Killing Floor 2, and it is the fact that it has no sense of aesthetics that it had inherited from Killing Floor 1. Like if you played Killing Floor 1, even in its latest iterations, you would notice that Killing Floor 1 is known for its very gritty aesthetics. Like everything looks very grimy, everything looks very dirty, everything looks like it has like a covering of soot, grime, and dried floods and gibs. Killing Floor 2, on the other hand, right, is extremely shiny, the blood looks fake, and it basically looks like a very, very shiny version of Dead Space. A very shiny arcade version of Dead Space.
Isn't that what everybody bitched about with the second set Dead Space 2?
Yep. Problem is that it is supposed to be a horror cooperative survival game. However, the aesthetics is completely removed from that sort of premise. The guns look clean, the enemies look clean, even the gore and blood looks fucking clean. Oh yeah, I think we should just say RIP Killing Floor and basically go back to playing the first game because that is the only one that is worth it right now. Save your money, play the first game, get it on a sale, and don't even bother looking at Killing Floor 2. Trust me, you'll save a lot of money and you'll save a lot of heartache.
Wait for it to go on sale on Indie
go
Gala.
fuck yourself, Tripwire, you talentless hacks.
Alright, I guess, unless anyone else has something else to add to this topic, I guess this is the end of it.
Alrighty then. And with the end of that topic comes the end of the podcast.
Finally, I can stop playing the stage.
But I still have more bullying to do of you people.
Can't stop
Well-
podcast, game is too good.
Well, you know
You'll
what?
have to bully us off air.
Yep. Off air, man. Off air. I hope everyone enjoyed the podcast. And I bid you all adieu for until next week. See ya, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Namaste.
G.I. Joe.